Hi, boys and girls. This is Sally Morse. I'm a district math coach for Henrico County Public Schools. And for today's lesson, we are focusing on the basic facts strategy of using a rule. It is for times 0 and times 1. If we look at our multiplication chart here, all the facts for the times 0 and times 1 rules are highlighted in purple. We can use a rule to help us master these facts. Stories and models play an important role in establishing context for these facts. So I'm going to present a few story problems on the next slide that I want for you to think about. Here I have 6 baskets. Imagine that there are 2 pencils inside of each basket. How many pencils are there, and how do you know? Since there are 6 baskets with 2 pencils in each basket, there are a total of 12 pencils. 6 times 2 equals 12. Here I have 3 baskets. Imagine that there are 10 crayons inside of each basket. How many crayons are there, and how do you know? 3 times 10 equals 30. There are 30 crayons. Now I have 4 baskets. Imagine that inside of each basket are 5 paper clips. How many paper clips in all, and how do you know? We know that 4 times 5 equals 20, so there are 20 paper clips in all. Now I have 7 baskets. Imagine inside of each basket is 1 marker. How many markers are there in all? 7 baskets with 1 marker inside of each basket means that there are a total of 7 markers. Now I have 8 baskets. Imagine that there are 0 glue sticks inside of each basket. How many glue sticks are there in all, and how do you know? If there are no glue sticks inside of my baskets, I have 8 times 0. I have 0 glue sticks in all. Now I have 1 basket. Imagine I have 4 glue sticks inside of this basket. How many glue sticks in all? I have 1 group of 4 glue sticks. 1 times 4 equals 4. Imagine now I have 0 baskets, and inside of my 0 baskets are 4 glue sticks. How many glue sticks are there in all? Well, since I have 0 baskets, I can't have any glue sticks in those baskets. 0 times 4 equals 0. Here's an example of 4 times 1 or 1 times 4 and 4 times 0 or 0 times 4 modeled, both as arrays or number lines. How are these models the same? How are they different? Now let's try extending this strategy. Imagine you have some little cubes and you're going to create a rectangular prism, which is like a box. You want to fill up a box. How could you create a rectangular prism with the dimensions 3 by 5 by 1? What could it look like? How could you create a rectangular prism with the dimensions 3 times 5 times 0? What could that look like? You may want to pause the video for a moment and try and imagine or draw a picture or build this to see what it could look like. And here is a game for home practice. You're going to need a deck of cards. You're going to remove the jacks, the kings, and the jokers, but you want to hold on to the queens. You're going to want to separate the red aces and the red queens from the rest of the cards. So you're going to have the rest of the cards and then a separate pile with your aces and your queens that are red. You're going to want a pencil and paper, and you're going to want to label your paper from 0 to 10. Remember, we're practicing using a rule. Whenever we multiply times 0, you can think no groups equals 0, or think groups of nothing equals 0. And when we multiply by 1, we think there's only one group of a number. So whatever that number is the product. Or you can think there are however many groups of 1, which again, the product would be the number you're multiplying by 1. So let's imagine that you pull a card and you got a 10, And then from the red deck of cards that has your aces and your queens, you got an 1 or an ace, which is a 1. So you're thinking 10 times 1. 10 times 1 is 10. You're going to cross that off on your game board. Let's say for the next time you pull a queen. A queen, remember, represents 0. And you also pulled a 7. 7 times 0 equals 0. So you're going to cross through the 0. You're going to keep playing this game until you cross through all of the numbers on your game board to help you practice multiplying using a rule for your times 0 and your times 1 facts.